Memphis Grizzlies, what the hell is going on? Rick's gonna outline what's more specific about that statement.
What do you think could be specific about that statement?
That they have a buy-sell clause. There's a lot of uncertainty. What do you think? I don't know. I feel like you prepared all the graphics.
It's more so everyone has the backstory. That's why I prepared the graphics.
Okay.
And then we just do our thing.
So the Grizzlies,
after
multiple years of making the playoffs,
read that.
A buy-sell provision, according to John Krasinski. Are you serious? Of The Athletic? John Krasinski. According to the role I played on The Office, a buy-sell provision in the ownership agreement between Para, the majority owner of the Memphis Grizzlies, and minority owners Steve Kaplan and Daniel Strauss was exercised last week.
You said majority for Para, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sources told The Athletic both minority owners had the right to invoke the clause starting in late October, which allows one or both of them to set a new valuation for the franchise that sold for $377 million in 2012. That's when Paris took it over. Para, who is being represented by CAA in the process, will have to decide whether to buy out Kaplan and or Strauss to keep control of the team, or sell his shares at the set price and remove himself from the ownership group. Basically, right now, there are too many owners, too many cooks.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Too many cooks.
Agreed
and
completely.
They have to contractually get rid of one or more owners. And so the question is, Para, who presided over, when he bought the team, they instantly had success, whether that's due to his moves or what was set in place originally. I don't know what this is. This is the overall
team's record since he took over the team.
So he took over the team in 2012, 2013, and the Grizzlies went 58 and 26, move along.
56.
56 and 26, 50 and 32, 55 and 27. I think in the first year they went to the conference finals. Oh, there we go.
They did.
So they made the playoffs every single year, and then 2016, 2017.
Still made the playoffs.
They still made the playoffs. Zach Randolph got some pretty, they were pretty banged up, went to the West, they lost in the Western Conference first round.
First round, excuse me.
And then this year they've lost 10 in a row? How many?
9 in a row.
9 in a row.
9 in a row.
9 in a row, and Marc Gasol is like, I just need to leave.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, what's gonna happen between these two owners? A little background. One of the criticisms is floating around about Para, the majority owner, is that he's an absentee father, essentially.
Yes.
When it comes down to it, he has made a shnikey ton of money off of this.
Although his businesses have been a coffee high.
What I've seen, his business went down originally. It has since, and that's why he needed to take on these other owners. And majority owners, including Peyton Manning and Justin Timberlake. Where are you?
Great question.
Where are you?
Haven't seen
Peyton?
JT in years.
And why does Timberlake not part own the Timberwolves?
Oh,
I don't understand that.
Why didn't Doug McDermott go to Denver where he could have been Dougie McNuggets?
That's amazing.
Thought about it.
So what do you think's gonna happen? Because either Para needs to just take a cash payout and give it to owners. The minority owners, one of who, Kaplan, had been actively searching for a team to be a majority owner in.
Right.
Why doesn't Para just get out?
Okay, so there's a few different points to make. Firstly, a rising tide lifts all ships. So in The Athletic by John Krasinski should have stayed with Pam. John Krasinski, he.
Wait, time out. This followed. Like, John Krasinski having an Athletic blog is
the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
But is the arc of The Office. Like, he leaves Dunder Mifflin to pursue his dream of like an athletic media group.
Who was the athlete in there? Like Dr. J or something?
It was Ryan Howard and Dr. J. We're both in.
Yeah.
We're both in. And Ryan Howard is the name of Ryan's character in The Office is Ryan Howard. Anyways, continue. So John Krasinski
so it's all coming full circle.
Yeah, John
Krasinski was saying that Meredith is
too drunk, too naked all the time.
Correct.
No, let's get back to this.
Okay, fine. So I can't, but I will. So the rising tide lifts all ships because there's no better time to sell than right now in the NBA. Because business is booming. The NFL is down, Major League Baseball is down among the millennial demographic, and the NBA is going way up. So if he were to ever be like, I I'm an absentee father, as Brett said, his words. I don't want to do this anymore, which I sincerely doubt. Now I'll sell for over $1 billion and make that much more money and have a great ROI. The problem I have with this entire argument, though, because if I were him, obviously I'd sell. I'd be a billionaire.
Right, but you're already a billionaire, so who cares?
Right, houses in Malibu and Paris and, you know, I owned Dunder Mifflin. So, like, my point being, he loves the players. He loved Tony Allen. He loved playing one-on-one against Tony Allen. He put it up on Twitter. He bragged about it. He got destroyed by Tony Allen, but still. He likes having the relationship and a straight path to all of these NBA stars. So I think he likes being in those circles. The problem, obviously, is that it seems like that's not going to happen because with Marc Gasol wanting out, it's a bad look for the organization, which has been so fan-friendly. Like, I remember when John Krasinski wrote in The Athletic about how they were, an ESPN poll put them at #1 for how well they did among their fans and ticket sales and just how much they cared about the community. It has done a complete 180, and it is a real problem for a small market team because they were the model franchise.
Would you say they had a Cleveland-style success without a giant megastar? Like,
that's a good question.
But like, they didn't need LeBron James. They had a 4-man core group that mimicking the feeling of the town of Memphis, like just what are they, grit and grind. Just freaking put your nose to the grindstone.
Grind City.
You know, Zach Randolph do your, you know.
Be crazy.
Be great. Just be great and super fun to watch in an unconventional basketball style, I would say.
Use your flip phone.
Yeah. Did he have a flip phone?
Yeah.
God, I love Zach Randolph.
Yeah.
He's on the Kings now or something?
He's just on the Kings. Him and Vince Carter both on the Kings.
Perfect.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, they're having a great time in
you have Vince Carter, who's like the ultimate level-headed professional, and then you have Zach Randolph, who if somebody looks the wrong way at him, will literally eat your heart out.
So they had that. I mean,
they did have that, but like,
it's gone, man.
It's so gone. It's unfortunate because you want to see, as a basketball fan, like, I have no problem with big threes. This has been going on pre-LeBron. This happened with Jordan and Pippen and Rodman. You can say Kukoc was the 4th. It happened way before, even with the Lakers back in the 90s. Like, teams were built on big threes and just stars drive the league. What was great, though, was that you had this exception in Memphis, Tennessee.
We have that in Memphis and San Antonio.
San Antonio is different because Popovich is so like ingrained. And
so that's their superstar.
He also was like, hey man, you're like a really bad GM. I'm gonna be GM. And then he fired the GM and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna coach the team too. And they're like, okay, prove it.
But the thing is, like, in the West, you had teams that are just stacking it. And then you had Memphis and San Antonio, who just
they ran into the Lakers in San Antonio.
Right, but you had this super I mean, from the perspective of GMs who just buy the crap out of players, you had these like 2 super frustrating squads where you're just like, oh my God, you guys are playing, you're using your basketball intellect to find a way to win when on paper you shouldn't. And I freaking love and hate it about Memphis. I love and hate it about San Antonio. That's just.
Well, you have a love-hate with San Antonio?
I don't. They're boring.
They were gonna say boring.
They're boring, but they remind me.
Fundamental basketball is boring.
It is, but it's not actually boring. It's just relative to the things that a lot of folks tune in to see.
Do you have a median age for which you like to watch a team? Meaning like the team's overall median age?
I mean, I really like watching Golden State and their children.
What?
Well, they're not. Well, are they all children now? To me, they're children. They're all younger than me.
Oh, well.
The San Antonio is the only team that's
How old is Zaza?
I don't know.
He's got to be like 31, 33?
I'm 35 years old.
He's younger.
So I'm just saying, like,
okay.
I don't know. You have that idea in your mind of like, and maybe it's just a superstar to non-superstar. And they don't, I mean, Pau Gasol or Marc Gasol is not like, to me, that superstar. But
he was.
Yeah, he was.
He was.
He was.
Yes.
It's interesting to see where they go. So what do you think is going to happen?
I think Para is going to have to sell the team. And they're going to have this like reconstruction phase because you can't continue to shit on every single coach that you had. What was the number? Like in the last 6 years, 4 coaches?
4 coaches in 6 years.
Horrible. Like the guy who,
Fizdale, who went to bat for a lot of people within the organization.
David Fizdale, like he was hung out to dry. Dave Yeager went to the Kings over the Grizzlies. That's fucking telling. So why would anybody go to Sacramento if Chris Webber and Doug Christie, who by the way apparently does porn, Doug Christie, yep, Mike Bibby, and who else is on that team? Vlade Divac, Peja Stojakovic, Bobby Jackson. Who else am I missing? Bobby Jackson won 6th Man of the Year. Unless those guys are on the team and it's back in the early thousands, that's the only reason you ever go to Sacramento. You stay away from
Mitch Richmond.
You stay away. No, Mitch Richmond was good.
Get Mitch Richmond back on the
cover of.
Didn't he play on? He was there.
Yeah, he was on the cover of a game. Like NBA Live 96.
Mitch Richmond. Anyways, but yeah, unless they're all back there, why the hell would you go to Sacramento?
He's created a poor atmosphere. It's like the Titans.
Are
like
they not similar? Are they? Is not
Sacramento?
Sacramento. Don't they have like the worst
Sacramento wasn't
owner?
necessarily respected though. Memphis was super respected because
I
they had, like, as you said, the grind and gritty defense. They were a defensive juggernaut of a team, and then Robert Parra just kind of got in his own lane. It's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, and so now we have to say it at the end of the video.
1, 2, 3.
Take that for data.